Over the past week, we have had a stack of mail in support of homeopathy after our sceptical health expert, Dr. Sean Holt, cast doubt on whether it works. So here to convince us it does is Gwyneth Evans, who is one of New Zealand's best-known homeopaths. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Explain, for people who don't understand how it works, how homeopathy works.
Well, that's a very challenging thing to do in a very short time. Homeopathy is a system of medicine. It is safe, it is natural, and it is effective. It's been around for over 200 years, and the basic principle of it is that like cures like. The easiest way to understand that is that any substance which will cause symptoms in somebody who is well will cure that same set of symptoms in somebody who's unwell. So the easiest way to understand that in an everyday example is people will be familiar if they've drunk too much coffee at night and then try and go to sleep. Often the body is really wired and the brain is very busy and you can't switch it off.
Yes.
So coffee in its crude state will cause that if you're sensitive to it. If I see somebody who has a kind of sleeplessness that is caused by having too much activity, mental activity,
right.
For instance, somebody after having a baby and when they're just so excited about it and already planning the child's graduation and wedding and it's just, you know, a few minutes old and they can't get to sleep and they need the sleep because of the labour that they've just been through. That excitement that won't let you just relax can be helped hugely by taking the homeopathic medicine that's made from coffee.
Right, like cures like. It is hugely diluted.
Yes, mostly, in general.
And that is where some of the controversy obviously comes, because it is diluted to such a degree that how much would
there isn't anything left.
Right, exactly.
Yes, that's what they say.
You've said it.
Yes.
Is that the case?
Yes, it is. However, the important thing to remember is that we're not dealing with a physiological, crude drug. What we're talking about is the energy or vibration of the substance that we begin with. And so if you understand that this body is all energy, some of it's physical and visible, what you're doing is to use the homeopathic energy of the plant or the substance to create that change within the body. And it's the body's own innate healing power that we're triggering with that homeopathic remedy.
We had email after email of people saying it worked for me or it worked for my child or I've seen it work on animals, therefore it can't just be the placebo effect. Is there scientific proof that it works, or is science as we understand it not on the same wavelength?
There's a lot of different answers to that. One is it depends how you define science. But if we're talking about using the conventional medical model or paradigm to measure what homeopathy does, it isn't going to work because it's a different paradigm that we're working with. When you're talking about different kind of dosing and a different kind of understanding model of disease and health.
Is that why? Because there is $1 million has been put up by an American saying, if you can prove it works, I'll give you $1 million, and no one's claimed the $1 million. Yes.
There is actually at this time a Greek homeopath who is undertaking to go for the million. He's taking them on.
We'll keep an eye on that. If you want to find a practitioner, can you go to anyone who advertises out the front door that that's what they do?
With any alternative health practitioner, the very best recommendation you can have is to go to somebody who somebody recommends that they've been and had good success. But if you want a good homeopath in New Zealand, the best thing to do is to go to the website of the New Zealand Council of Homeopaths. All the people on there are registered. We operate under a code of ethics. There's a complaints procedure if you're not satisfied with what you get. And the website is www.homeopathy, spelled homeopathy.co.nz, and click on Find a Homeopath and you'll find one in your area.
And see if it works for you. Gwyneth, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Gwyneth Evans.